The other day I was talking to a friend of mine about extroverts versus introverts, and we went to the normal discussion about how, if I'm introverted or extroverted and what they are. And so just a little about me. I'm introverted, but I think over the years I've developed the skill set to be extroverted in certain situations. So kind of like the ability to adapt to be an extrovert in certain situations. It's like a skill set, right? Is to have that personality to be able to be around people. What they say about introversion and extroversion is, where do you get your energy from? Where introverts tend to get their energy when they're by themselves and they recharge. Extroverts get their energy from being around other people. And while I do agree with that to some extent, it's not as simple as that, because for me, I definitely feel introverted in certain situations, but in other situations, I definitely feel more extroverted. And let me explain what I mean by that. So when I'm around friends or people who I have high levels of trust with, like close friends or family, I definitely tend to be more extroverted, like very outgoing, like making people laugh and just having high energy, and I get a lot of energy from that. But if I have low levels of trust around people I don't know, then I tend to be more introverted, right? Like more reserved, more calm. And so I think that it kind of depends on the environment of where you're around, because I know a ton of introverts who come alive when they are around people who they trust and people they want to be around. But I also know a lot of people who, same thing, where they're around just new people and they act way more reserved than they do in other situations. So I think it's just how you respond to those different environments is actually what's really different. So it's not just a simple, I'm extroverted, act this way, I'm introverted, act this way. It's more likely a combination of also what environment are you in and how you respond to that. Because I think extroverts also feel uncomfortable in those situations, but they might also react a bit differently. They may still talk a lot and may not be as reserved, but they'll still be nervous in situations where they're surrounded by people whom they have low levels of trust with and who they don't know really well. So that's the thought of the day. It's pretty quick, is that extroversion and introversion might just be more complex, or it might be more than just where you get your energy from. It might also be your ability to adapt and learn how to be the other thing, learn to be more introverted or extroverted, but also being aware of the environment you're in and how you respond to that environment. So that's the thought of the day.